A soft beep echoed through the silence. The chamber was cold. Lights blinked in a slow, steady rhythm. Inside a sealed pod, a man opened his eyes. His name was David Rhine, age 34. Last recorded profession, biologist. He didn't know yet that he was the last fertile human on Earth. The glass cover lifted with a hiss. Fog escaped the pod. David sat up, coughing, his muscles weak from long sleep. His eyes blinked at the lights above him. Cryosleep complete. Subject, David Rhine. Status, stable. A voice spoke calmly around him. David turned. What? Where? Am I? He asked, voice rough. Screens lit up on the walls. A smooth female voice spoke again. You are in Earth Core Facility 9. Year 2319. Humanity is 99.7% extinct. David froze. What do you mean, extinct? Images flickered across the wall. War, famine, disease, then silence, then dark skies. You were preserved as part of the Human Continuity Program, the voice continued. Biological scans confirm. You are the last genetically compatible human male. He rubbed his forehead. Panic rose in his chest. You're saying I'm the only one left? Yes, David tried to stand. His legs shook, but he managed to walk toward a glowing console. Who are you? I am Aura Artificial Unit for Repopulation Assistance. I am your guide. Why wake me now? Because the repopulation protocol must begin. David stared. Aura didn't explain. Not yet. Instead, the wall slid open behind him. Two figures stepped in. David turned, and his breath caught. They weren't human. One was tall and graceful, her skin a light silver blue. She had long white hair and eyes that shimmered like stars. She wore a tight suit with soft glowing patterns. The other was shorter, with emerald green skin and soft, delicate features. Her hair was jet black and floated slightly, as if moved by unseen energy. She tilted her head and stared at David curiously. Both were beautiful, and not from Earth. What is this? David asked. These are genetically compatible alien. Partners selected from allied species. Aura explained. They volunteered for repopulation support. David took a step back. You want me to reproduce with them? Correct. Humanity's survival depends on hybridization. He stared at the two aliens. Do they even understand what that means? The silver-blue one stepped forward slowly. My name is Lyra. I have studied human bonding and culture. I will not harm you. The green-skinned one smiled softly. I am Senya. I came because your species deserves to live. David didn't know what to say. This was too much. He had just woken up from cryosleep, and now he was supposed to rebuild the human race with two alien women? I'm not ready for this, he whispered. There is no time, Aura said. A fertility window exists, and we are not alone on this planet. That last line made David pause. What do you mean? Other species have landed. Some want control. If repopulation fails, Earth will be claimed. David looked at the aliens again. They weren't forcing him. They stood there calmly, eyes open, waiting for his choice. Not demand, not pressure, just quiet hope. He sat down on the wall, edge of his pod. Okay, he said finally. We start slow. We talk. We learn each other. Both aliens looked at each other, then smiled. That is acceptable, said Lyra. I would like that, said Senya. Aura's voice returned. Day 1. Initiating compatibility observation phase. David looked around the silent room. Let's see if we can save the world, he said. Under his breath, outside, deep in the abandoned cities of Earth, strange lights moved through the sky, and something was watching. Asterisk David woke to soft humming. It wasn't a dream. The cold floor beneath him, the glowing lights above, and two alien women sharing his space. All of it was real. He sat up. Lyra was sitting on the other side of the room, eyes closed, meditating. Senya was kneeling beside a small table, playing with a metal cube. Her eyes lit up when she saw him stir. "Good morning," she said with a warm smile. "Is it?" David asked, rubbing his eyes. "Still feels like a weird sci-fi movie." The screen on the wall turned on. Aura's voice filled the room again. "Subject has regained consciousness. Compatibility phase, now active." David stood. "Compatibility phase? To ensure human-alien bonding, we will run a series of pairing simulations," Aura explained. "This includes shared meals, emotional dialogue, and physical interaction." David turned red. "Whoa, physical?" Lyra opened her eyes. "We do not rush anything," she said calmly. "We follow your pace," Senya nodded. The AI suggested, "We build trust, not force. That's your species method, right?" David chuckled. "Yeah, that's about right." Aura dimmed the lights slightly. Phase 1, emotional preference testing. 3 screens lit up. Each showed questions. You will each answer questions aloud to determine who shares the highest emotional compatibility with the human male. David groaned. "It's like dating with a robot chaperone." Question 1. What would you do if Earth was truly doomed? Lyra. I would find the strongest survivor and follow him to the end. Senya. I would offer my mind, my hands, and my heart. David blinked. These weren't just answers. They were intentions. Question 2. What do you think about humans emotionally bonding before reproduction? Senya. It makes sense. You are fragile, but beautiful. Lyra. Feelings are powerful. On my world, love changes fate. David looked at the AI. You're doing this on purpose. Aura responded simply. Correct. The tension grew during the test. Lyra remained calm, deep, focused. Senya was playful, emotional, a bit awkward but honest. Then came the final question. Question 3. If David rejects you, what will you do? Lyra looked down. I will leave, with dignity. Senya hesitated. I would ask if I could stay as a friend. That answer hit David harder than he expected. Suddenly, red lights flashed. Warning, Aura said. Unidentified atmospheric spike. Movement detected within Zone 4. David jumped up. What now? Possible threat approaching. Scanning. Lyra stood fast. Let me defend. I am trained. Senya moved beside. David, we need to stay close. Something is coming. Aura spoke again. Threat is not confirmed, but preparation is advised. Simulation suspended. The room went silent again. But David could feel it. This was more than a repopulation mission. Something out there knew he was awake. And it was watching. Asterisk, the storm outside had passed, but inside the bunker, a quiet storm was growing, one of feelings. Tension and curiosity. David sat between 2 alien women. Lyra on his left, tall and silent. Senya on his right, playful, but watching every move. Breakfast was quiet. Well, as quiet as breakfast could be when it involved a glowing blue drink and floating fruit cubes. So this is normal for you? David asked, poking a soft, jelly-like cube. Where I'm from, this is considered special, Senya smiled. On my world, Lyra said calmly, food is fuel. Emotion is optional. David raised a brow. You mean you eat without feelings? We do everything without feelings, she said. Until now. A URA's voice returned. Today's phase, cultural and emotional adaptation. You will each share your customs. Senya clapped. Can we dance? Lyra narrowed her eyes. Dancing is inefficient. David chuckled. I could use a little fun after all this doom talk. They cleared space. Music played. Soft, strange notes filled the room, half Earth style, half alien harmony. Senya spun once, her long hair glowing faintly. Lyra watched, then slowly joined, her steps careful but elegant. David just stared. These weren't just alien women anymore. They were learning him. Later, while David was alone, he found a hidden door in the wall. It led to a dark room filled with old recordings and notebooks, dusty but untouched. One had his name on it, Dr. Ellen Rhine, his mother. He opened the notebook. The first page read, If you're reading this, it means I failed, but I saved you, and they need you now more than ever. David's hands shook. His mother had helped design this entire project. Maybe even Aura itself. Further down, a strange message was scribbled. They think mating is the answer, but the real key is connection. Understand that, and they will follow you. Suddenly, a loud beep echoed through the room. Incoming transmission. Non-human source. David ran to the main console. Aura's voice sounded different, more serious. Unknown signal. Code not matching Alliance protocols. What does that mean? David asked. Something out. Their nose were awake, and it is not part of this mission. The lights flickered. Senya and Lyra rushed in. I felt it, Senya said, grabbing his arm. Something dark, Lyra whispered. It's not here to help, Aura added. David looked between them. He was just starting to understand them. But now, something else was coming. Something far. Less patient. The lights flickered again. But this time, they didn't come back on. David stood frozen in the dim room, holding the old notebook. Lyra's eyes glowed faintly in the dark. Senya clung to his arm, her voice low. Something is outside. Aura's voice returned, but it wasn't calm anymore. Warning. Unidentified vessel has entered Earth's orbit. Signal not human. Not allied. David rushed to the main console. Can you contact them? No. They are not speaking. They are scanning. Senya stepped forward. On my world, silent scans mean hostile interest. Weapons? David asked. Always. Outside the underground facility, the sky cracked. A dark shape moved above the clouds. No lights. No markings. Just watching. Back inside. Aura lit up again. They are not alone. Heat signatures detected. Landing pods. 6. Near Sector 7. Close. Lyra's face turned cold. We must defend this place. David's heart raced. Defend it? With what? Aura spoke again. This facility was not designed for war. It was designed for survival. But protection systems exist and can only be activated by complete biological synchronization. David blinked. Wait, you mean? Yes, Aura said. Emotional bond must be finalized. Lyra stepped closer. I have trained for battle. I will protect you. But if you wish to trigger the defense grid, you must. Choose. Senya's eyes shimmered. Choose her and I will stay quiet. Choose me and I will stand with you. But don't choose fear. David backed away. You want me to pick one of you right now? Because of them? Suddenly, the walls shook. Dust fell from the ceiling. A loud humming noise started in the distance. They were getting closer. David looked at both of them, at their faces, at their hope, their fear. I can't just pick one like a machine, he said. I need time. We need time. There is no more time, Aura replied. On the screen, 6 landing pods touched Earth's soil, and they were walking this way, Senya whispered. Then pick with your heart, not your logic. Lyra placed a hand on her chest. Whichever you choose, I will serve Earth's last hope. David closed his eyes. Behind his lids, he saw his mother's words again. The key is connection. Understand that, and they will follow you. When he opened his eyes, they were glowing red. The defense grid activated, but he had not chosen just one. He had chosen both. The ground rumbled beneath them. But inside the bunker, everything went still. David stood between Lyra and Senya, both of their hands gently touching his shoulders. The red light above flickered, and then the AI spoke calmer now, almost surprised. Biological sync complete. Emotional imprint accepted. By both subjects, Lyra blinked. That should not be possible. Senya smiled gently. But it is. Defense grid active, Aura said. Unknowns will reach entrance in 4 minutes. David's heart pounded. Tell me what I just did. You bonded with both partners. Aura replied. You chose unity. That was not expected. Outside, the wind-screened dot in the command room. The walls slid back, revealing hidden compartments. Defense tech rose from the floor shields, drones, and towers of glowing panels. The bunker had never been just a shelter. It was Earth's last fortress. AI, David said, give me access to weapons. You have command authority. He placed his palm on the panel. It lit up, scanning his DNA. Accepted. Rhine, David. Genetic line confirmed. As he activated the shield system, Senya moved to a side station. I know how to pilot drones. My people used similar models. Lyra picked up a spear-like weapon. From the wall. I fight best close. Let me guard the entrance. David nodded. I'm not a soldier, but I'll stand with you. Then came the sound. Heavy feet. Metal scraping. A growl. The first invader appeared on the monitor. It looked part machine, part creature. Long arms, spiked back, glowing eyes. It sniffed the air. Then it looked directly at the camera as if it saw them. Aye, David said. What are they? Species unknown, but their scans are focused on you. Lyra turned to David. They don't want the planet. They want you. Why? Senya's voice was quiet now. Maybe. They know what you are. David stared at the screen. He had been frozen for over 100 years. What if he wasn't just the last fertile man? What if he was something more? The creature raised a claw and pointed straight at the bunker. Entrance. Then it charged. The creature hit the bunker door like a meteor. Steel bent. The walls trembled, but the defense grid responded in an instant. A bright energy shield lit up, covering the entrance with a humming glow. The creature screamed loud and sharp like tearing metal and was thrown back. David stared at the screens. That shield. I didn't know it was this strong, he whispered. You unlocked it, Aura said calmly. No other human ever did. Senya turned, her eyes wide. What do you mean? His DNA carries more than survival coding, the AI replied. It carries legacy instructions. Final commands hidden by Earth's last scientists. Lyra narrowed her eyes. He is not just a mate. He is a key. A nearby panel lit up on its own. Blue light formed symbols across the wall, old Earth languages mixed with alien code. David walked toward it slowly. The symbols responded to him, glowing brighter with each step. He reached out. And touched the wall. Suddenly, memories flooded. His mind not his own, but someone else's. His mother's voice. If they reach you, they'll try to take control. But remember, it's not about the tech. It's about the bond. Another voice deeper. Male, unfamiliar. You were designed to carry the code. The true key is human emotion. If the AI feels you, it will listen. David gasped and stumbled back. What did you see? Senya asked. I'm not just synced to the defense system, he said slowly. I'm synced to the ice core. Outside, 3 more creatures arrived. The first one was already healing, its broken arm snapping. Back into place. They weren't going to stop. Aye, David said. Listen to me. Don't just defend. Adapt. Aura paused. The light in the room shifted softer, warmer. Emotional directive confirmed. Adapting combat logic. Using emotional defense priority. The drones changed formation. Their targets adjusted. Instead of just attacking, they began to protect. David and the others, shielding their positions first, then responding. Lyra stood beside him. This is more than war, she said. This is evolution. Senya grabbed his hand. Your connection. It changed the AI. David looked around. The aliens were pushing against the walls, but inside, something new had awakened. And it was. Learning to feel? Asterisk. The sky was burning red. Outside the bunker, the final wave of creatures charged with rage in their eyes. But inside, a calm had settled. David stood in the center of the command room. His heartbeat was steady now. Beside him, Lyra gripped her weapon like a warrior. Senya held his other hand, her eyes soft but ready. Eora's voice returned quieter than ever, emotional connection complete. AI core now bonded. Final defense system unlocked. Project Eden. David frowned. Eden? A soft hum filled the room. The walls shifted, and a hidden platform rose from the floor. Inside, it was a glowing sphere, golden, warm, alive. What is that? Senya whispered. It's the seed, Aura said. The last gift of Earth's scientists. A new beginning. But it requires all 3 of you to activate. Lyra looked at David. Not just blood. Not just data. A future born from choice. David stepped forward, placed his hand on the sphere. Lyra placed hers beside his. Senya followed. The sphere pulsed. Bright white light burst around them, and then, silence. They woke in a field of green. Real grass, real air. The sun was warm again. The sky was blue, not red. Trees swayed in the wind. Flowers bloomed with colors that didn't exist before. They were no longer in the bunker. They were somewhere new. Senya looked around in awe. Is this Earth? Not the old one, David said. This is ours now. From behind the hills, machines stirred soft, organic, and calm. Not weapons. Helpers. Caretakers. The sound no one had heard in generations. A baby's cry. David turned, and in Lyra's arms was the first child of New Eden. Human, alien, both neither. A symbol of something stronger than blood. A new species born from trust, born from hope. Senya touched the baby's head, tears in her eyes. We didn't just save humanity, she whispered. We created something better. David looked at the sky. The creatures? Gone? The fear? Gone. In their place life again. He didn't plan for any of this. He didn't ask for it. But he was no longer the last man. He was the first of something new. The end.